Hi guys, welcome to the Maldives. I always do Q&As at the beginning of the year, and it struck me the other day that I haven't done one yet this year in 2023, and there are so many questions that I feel like are unanswered. So that's what we're gonna do today. I'm ready for dinner a little bit early, so we've got loads of time to chit chat, and I've literally screenshotted probably like 50 questions, so I'm gonna go through them all, albeit a lot of them were the same category of question, and I hope you don't mind a bit of a different setup from me today because I am away. So what initial goss can I tell you? Firstly, I'm wearing my new collection. This collection just came out this week, so I don't know if any pieces have sold out now, like when you're watching this, because it's not online yet when I'm telling you this, so I don't know what pieces are still in stock. But it's all hearts for Valentine's Day, all love themed. The collection is love letters, and look, this is a little bow and arrow, and then this is a little triple heart ear climber. Isn't that cute? And then all the names are names about love as well, names of all the pieces. This little necklace has 3 tiny little hearts, because also 3 is a lucky number, my lucky number. And then this one matches, and it has 1 big mama heart and 2 little babies, and that's so sweet. This is our scarlet ear cuff, which I'm wearing, but everyone requested that it was made into a ring, so that's what we did. It has little hearts on it, little bobbles, and it's battered. Everything comes in gold and silver as well, by the way. This is the scarlet ear cuff. You can see it literally like slips on the ear. And what else? Oh, and bracelets, so you can see the gold. These are actually double-sided. They're like little letters, love letters. Can you see? Aren't they special? So that is all on sale now. I will link it down below. You can go and shop. We ship worldwide. Raemi.com, R-A-E-M-I. And if you want to see more pictures in action on Instagram that we've shot on the Maldives, because we've shot the campaign here as well, that's all on the Raemi Instagram. So let's get into the questions, because you guys have a lot of unanswered things. The first question is, why do you still follow your ex on Instagram? Firstly, there's a mute button, which is so great. Would highly recommend the mute button if you don't want to offend someone by unfollowing them. And I just felt like unfollowing was a bit aggressive. I feel like unfollowing is really like, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna unfollow them. And it's just, I don't know, like, I think either you block and you cut, but he didn't post on Instagram anyway, so it wasn't like I was seeing loads of the stuff or had anything to see. So I was like, okay, mute is enough, because he never really posted. I have unfollowed exes, and exes have blocked me in the past, but sometimes it's just not necessary, and in this case it wasn't necessary. However, I do have one different specific ex hid my story. Do you know that function? By the way, it's a really good function on Instagram where you can hide your story from someone, and I did that with his family as well, because I saw that they all unfollowed me and they were still stalking me, and I was like, ick, this is giving ick. Hide my story, goodbye. I'm well aware that they can create a fake profile and stalk me, but I'd like to think that they have more of a life than that. Most used handbag of 2022. Definitely my black Mini Kelly and my black Fendi Peekaboo. Those two hand in hand, like simple, plain black bag, day or night, no matter what I'm doing, black bag with silver hardware, basically, most used. How was your 2022 overall? What would you carry and what would you leave behind for 2023? This is from Lizzie. 2022 overall wasn't my favorite year, but it wasn't my least favorite year either. I would say in terms of all the most recent years, 2021 was probably my favorite, mainly for health reasons. I wouldn't say 2022 was my favorite. And also the final push of the house was in 2022, and that was a really, really stressful period. But then on the flip side, I got to move into my house. So I would give 2022 like a 7 out of 10. I'm trying to leave behind in 2022 the feeling of having to be busy, and also the feeling of being hungover. I would like to not be as hungover. I saw a great tip actually on David Asprey's Instagram, and he said if you're drinking a lot, take charcoal with your alcohol, because then your alcohol doesn't pass through your liver, which is the feeling that you get of being hungover the next day. Go and find it on his Instagram. I'm sure he explains it much better. So I'm going to try that next time I drink, but I'm trying not to drink for a very long time until I have a wedding, like mid-April. You probably have seen in like a previous video of mine, I posted like the first video of this year, I'm having like some things with my liver, so I'm trying not to drink that much, like 1 glass of wine a week, which is, it's low for me, okay? I know that is low for me. I love going out and being social, and my friends are very big wine drinkers, and I probably go out for dinner like 3 or 4 times a week. So yeah, trying to limit the alcohol. That's the feeling of hungover I'm going to leave in 2022, and the feeling of being busy, and 2023 is all about health. That is my biggest priority this year. Is this your forever home? This probably isn't my forever home. If I were to have children, I could probably have 1/2. I say 2 if I get rid of my dressing room, which my room I don't want to do as my baby. So ideally 1, and I'd like to ideally have more than 1 child. Any advice on a nose job? I'm planning one and so scared. Okay, the nose job journey. I've had 3 nose jobs and I'm really happy now. Finally, 3rd time's a charm. I told you 3 was my lucky number. I would recommend going through with your surgeon each quarter of your nose. Now, I'm saying this because specifics are the most important part. You need to know that your surgeon can do what you want, and you need to be so clear on what you want, not just this sort of vibe. Like, I think my first couple surgeries I went with this sort of vibe, or just this or just that, and I was so scared to have surgery the first time that I didn't really change anything, and the second time I was like this kind of vibe, and I wasn't so meticulous. So what I did this 3rd time, my aunt actually guided me through it, and my cousins had a nose job, and this is what they did, and she was super happy with the outcome of hers. Is they went through every single portion on a PDF file, so that in surgery the doctor can refer to the PDF file. It's really specific and it is very controlling, but I think that's just the way you've got to be when you're having surgery. So I literally said, this is what I want from this section, this is what I want from this section, this is what I want from this section, and this is what I want from the bottom section. Be so specific. That would be my biggest advice. And then on the recovery, take Arnica, rest, drink lots of fluids, have someone to look after you, because I was in a hotel room alone in New York and it was very lonely and very boring. So also have lots of TV. And the other thing is, you have so much medication and you've been under general anesthetic, that go easy on yourself, because I think looking back, I entered into like a little bit of a like post, I would call it like a low-grade depression, because your body is just going through all these weird changes, and all these antibiotics kind of affect your hormones, and I was crying every day, like so much. So just be aware that it can affect you. Resolutions. So I literally keep banging on about health, mental health, biggest priority, staying on track with saying my gratitude, staying on track with my 5-minute journal, staying on track with like checking in with myself, because that's when I feel like I can really slip. Would you show your next boyfriend again on social media? So this is a question I toy in my head so much, and I feel like over the time I've had different answers. Since my engagement, I had a boyfriend and I didn't show him on social media, and it feels kind of weird sometimes, like not showing something, because you know when something exciting happens or something sad happens and you want to tell your friends, like that's what it feels like. It feels like something was happening and I didn't tell my friends. It's kind of weird, because although the impact of not showing it meant that you don't need to like make an announcement, and the only reason I really made announcements about breakups in the past was because I was engaged and people were like waiting for a wedding, and I didn't, like, there was just no way that I couldn't have done an announcement. I think that the biggest fear about sharing a relationship for me, and I even say that and I well up, the biggest fear is coming online and telling so many people that it didn't work out. Because imagine like the disappointment you feel, or like the sadness you feel when you tell a friend like something bad happens, and the guilt also of like making that friend sad, or like saying something, or there's just so much emotion around telling people bad news, or like sad news, or news they'd be disappointed with, or whatever. And imagine doing that with 500,000 people. Like that feeling, I'm sweating, that feeling is like times 500,000. That video of me saying that my relationship wasn't going to end in marriage and that our engagement had ended, that video got 500,000 views. Like that's scary. It's so scary, and it's the judgment and it's everything. So putting another relationship out there and potentially having to make another video like that and say, hey, this didn't work out, and to give reasons, and to still having to like justify the reasons like 3 years later, is it 3 years, 2.5 years later, still be like still have that as like your label online. Whew. it's scary. It's a big deal. So to summarize, I am going to share my relationship, but it is really scary. So in the case, if that would have to happen again, please go easy on me, because I don't think I could make an announcement kind of video like that ever again. That almost killed me. How are you feeling about YouTube this year? I love YouTube. YouTube is my baby. Video content, I hate the word content, but video content for me is my baby. Like, that's why I love TikTok as well. And that's why I love YouTube Shorts. And I feel like I come alive in videos as much as I love glossy pictures, and like my Instagram will definitely show you how much I love taking dreamy pictures, but videos is really where I feel the most me. I'm so comfortable on videos. Like sometimes when I do stuff with brands or clients where I'm at an event and they're like, hey Amelia, can we quickly film you do this? Like people are shook. Like I'm so comfortable on camera, like it's actually not normal. I never feel like I'm talking to a camera. I feel like I'm talking to you. I love that. I love YouTube. I love videos. Lior, I love Lior so much. Lior is one of my favorite people, and she always buys Raymond every time I see her name pop up. Like I'm so grateful. Like sometimes I know so many usernames off the top of my head. So Lior Tweg, hi. I hope I said your last name right. How are you feeling about 2023 so far? Love your videos. I literally woke up 2023 and I was like, this is gonna be a good year. I'm gonna be so boundaried this year and so much more disciplined than I've ever been within myself. I feel like I have my priorities in check this year. I'm a sucker for like a fresh start and a good like new start, and I just feel like I got a boost in January this year that I never really get in January. I always get January blues. What is the Farrow color in your kitchen called? So the Farrow color is called Vert de Terre, and all my kitchen colors, all the stuff blah 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 of my home is on my home account at Amelia Liana Home. Your mantra for 2023. My mantra is health and mental health. That is my biggest priority. I feel like everything else that I want in my life, in my job, in my family life, in my personal life, everything will come more seamlessly and easier when I focus on my health and my mental health, because without health and mental health, it's hard to have all the other stuff. Oh, this is another username I recognize, Aisha. Okay, we need the tea on everything Jack. So for those of you that don't know and don't follow me on TikTok, go and follow me, because I posted a video which was a really cute video. Like, this is why I love video content, because you just capture moments so well. That video was not like staged or planned or scripted or whatever. Someone months ago had sent me a TikTok. If this was you, please comment down below. I feel like they sent it to me on Instagram, and it was like, you should try this challenge. It's kissing my best friend in the rain. And oh no, they didn't send me that one. They sent me kissing my best friend challenge, and when I went into a deep dive hole of TikTok with the kissing my best friend, I found a kissing my best friend in the rain, and I was like, oh my god, this is so good. Like, this is such a good challenge. I would die to do this challenge. And I tried to film it once, like months ago, with the song, because there's like a specific song, and I just couldn't do it. And Jack's like, what is wrong with you? And I was like, okay, nothing. And I ended up doing Jack rates my outfit. Have you guys seen that TikTok? It's like, it was like, I did this after all the sentences. You might have seen it. Anyway, I chickened out that time. And I saw it was raining, and I was like, oh, it would be so nice to kiss someone in the rain. I've never kissed anyone in the rain before. And I was like, let me just fuck it. I was like, whatever, let me just, and I was like trying to film, but like secretly film, but not really. And you could see his face. He's like, no, like what is wrong with you? But he was so easily convinced. So that was the tea behind that video. Next question is, do you feel at home already? I do. I think it takes like 3 months, and it takes builders not being in your house, by the way, but I come home now and I'm like, ah, home, so nice, so nice. You know what it was? It was going on a trip and coming back. The first few times I was like, weird, it's weird coming back here, I don't know where I am. But after like the third time of going away and coming back, I was like, ah, home. Also, you know what else? Mess makes a home, I think. When everything is neat and tidy and clean and there's no stuff, it doesn't feel like a home. Is it hard to live alone? Yeah, it is hard sometimes. I really miss living with someone. Sometimes it is hard. It's nice sometimes, like, I don't know, just sharing chores or saying like, oh, my electricity bill was this, crazy. But then other times you're like, get the whole evening to yourself to do whatever you want. You can do a face mask, you can dye your mustache, you can fake tan, you can sleep in the bed and the fake tan can go everywhere and no one's gonna be like, oh, how gross, you know? You can do whatever you want. When will you be uploading your bedroom tour? My bedroom tour I'm gonna put up this month. My bedroom is finished and I'm gonna show you the full spec of the whole room because it's one of my favorite rooms in the house. Oh my God, I'm already laughing at the second question. This next question is, well, obviously we wanna know, is Jack your boyfriend now? The answer is yes. Jack is my boyfriend now. I'm gonna get nervous and shy and all good. I saw a quote on TikTok the other day. You can see how obsessed I am with TikTok. And it was private but not a secret. And I was like, ooh, that's cool. Is that what I'm gonna do? I was like, ooh, I like that quote because I don't want to keep secrets. I don't like secrets. I feel like that's weird. Can you do a full walkthrough of your house? I would love to see it all. I'm doing everything tour by tour because, like room by room, tour by tour, because it's just too long otherwise. So I'm gonna link a playlist down below of all the tours that I've done so far of the house because I think I've finished like 4 rooms, so you can see all those rooms. How much do you spend on luxury goods every month? Ooh, really depends if I buy a bag or not, because bags, especially Hermes bags or Chanel bags, take up the majority chunk. I film unboxings, I buy a lot of secondhand or pre-loved bags like this one, which I'm using right now. It's just incredible. I got this from Luxury Promise and it's the Chanel Coco Splash. I think it's 2018 and it's just so cool. So there are a lot of things that I buy and that's less now, like pre-loved, than it would be if I bought it in 2018. Each month, I think you could probably go through my hauls and do some maths. Would you ever live abroad? I think I would live abroad, especially because I get seasonal affective disorder like in a major way. I would love to live somewhere for winter and I'm quite lucky I could work anywhere. Have you managed to avoid your ex or do you run into him around town? Now, can I tell you something? I thought this was such a good question because sometimes the universe just works for you. Like it just works wonders, okay? I had a boyfriend like 7 years ago and he lived 4 doors down from my parents, okay? 4 doors. And when we broke up, I was like, shoot me. I'm gonna bump into him every freaking weekend, every day, I'm gonna bump into him all the time and it's gonna freaking suck. I was so devastated and I just didn't want to see him and we didn't really have any mutual friends, but I was like, I'm gonna just bump into him all the time, just like leaving the house looking like death, you know? Looking like utter crap and I'm gonna bump into him. I have not bumped into him in 7 years. In 7 years. I bumped into him like in the past year, not even like anywhere near where he lives or where my parents live, but like a random restaurant. And I don't even mind now because it's been so long. But the universe works in mysterious ways. I have never bumped into an ex. I'm so grateful to the universe for that. I have not bumped into any of my exes ever. Only one of my exes who I have a mutual friend with, I saw at a birthday party, but I don't really count that as a run-in. I think that's like, you know, they're gonna be there so you can mentally prepare. That is, I mean, isn't that miraculous? I mean, the universe, I'm so grateful to the universe because a lot of them, I have a lot of mutual friends with, and for some reason, the universe just really thought, you know what, she's had enough. She's had enough, she doesn't need to see them anymore. Do you sometimes feel like you're too sensitive? I go into depression for a resident / fan. I am sensitive, but I'm me. So I don't want to beat myself up about being sensitive or being emotional. I feel like as a child I was kind of told like pull yourself together or like told not to cry or, you know, why would I do that to myself as an adult? Like I am who I am. I feel things like really deeply. My heart's on my sleeve. I'm an emotional person. You saw me, like I just talked about something traumatic and I was like trying not to cry but like welling up, but like, you know, I like feeling things. I don't feel like that's a bad thing and I don't want to beat myself up about being an emotional person or being a sensitive person, and I don't think you should either. Are you happy with your new nose? You look great with all the noses. Thank you. I'm really happy with it. I feel like finally, third time is a charm and I can breathe and it's great. A lot of questions about dating came up. I just saw one that said, are you dating anyone? But I've kind of answered that already. Were you scared of what were to happen to the friendship if it didn't work out? Yeah, I'm still scared. Yeah, yes, basically. At some point you take a risk and that is the risk. That's the collateral. Besides the brands you work with now, are there any other brands you'd like to work with? I would love to work with Chanel again. Chanel, when I became a Dior ambassador, stopped working. There were 2 Dior ambassadors, me and a friend of mine, and they stopped working and speaking to both of us, and I love Chanel and I'd love to work with them again. And I don't feel like because I work with Dior I can't work with Chanel. And I loved working with Jimmy Choo in 2022, and I'd love to work more with them, especially the fashion team in 2023. That would be amazing. Some of my favorite brands to work with, like I seriously am so grateful, like Armani, Bulgari, like I cannot even talk about like the brands that I've loved my whole life. So many amazing brands. I'm so grateful I get to work with them. Kilian, we did like so many amazing things with Kilian in 2022. Being able to provide like my own Lancome discount last year for my followers, like that was so cool. Like being able to do things like that was just amazing. I can't even list them all. Like Charlotte Tilbury, every time I'm about to move on to the next question, I think of another one. Oh, and I'm excited because I'm working with like a new brand that's coming to the UK this month. Like I'm very, very, very grateful for those experiences. Describe your perfect 3-course meal. So firstly, I probably have like a cheesy pasta to start. Then I would probably have like either chicken and rice, like really nice chicken skewers or lamb skewers and rice. Definitely rice, like warm, buttery, saffrony. Oh, I'm salivating. Or like a veal with like a nice sauce. I had something like that the other day. So good. And then for dessert, I'm a sweet person through and through, so I don't really get excited about main meals, but for dessert, I'd have chocolate fondant, cheesecake, definitely cheesecake, gluten-free tarte tatin with like really, really thin apples, cookie, warm chocolate chip cookie or oat and raisin cookie also, warm. Oh, cinnamon bun. I tried a really good one, gluten-free one the other day from Libby's in Notting Hill, who I'm obsessed with. I keep pointing in this video. And then I would finish off with some Haribo Straubs and Haribo Star Mix, like the original. That is my dream meal. Oh, and Haribo milk gums. See, I told you, I'm a sweet tooth person. Someone said, are you dating Jack? If you don't talk about it in this vlog, I will cry. And someone else said, how about that TikTok kiss? I told you all the questions. When did you realize you wanted something more with Jack? I think it was like a gradual thing, and I kind of thought like maybe it was just a phase. Like maybe it was just like a phase that I'd get over. It wasn't like overnight. It was like I just kind of started fancying him. Would you consider having children without getting married? That would be ideal for me. I would love to have children without getting married. As far as I'm aware, and maybe you guys can tell me better, the law in the UK doesn't really side with women who have kids that aren't married. Is that true, or did a lawyer just tell me that once? Or is that something my grandma told me to make sure I get married? But I would love to have kids without getting married, because the thought of getting married is very stressful, and having a wedding, I don't want a big wedding, and it would just, I don't know, I'd love to have kids without getting married and just skip the fuss. Are you as busy as it looks? Pia, am I as busy as it looks?
Yeah, busier.
Really? Busier! Oh my god, I feel like I'm not busy at all.
Do you think not?
I feel like I do nothing, but
I actually
do a
can't
lot.
with that answer. That's too much.
It's just my personality.
You do like triple the online.
I do triple what you see, apparently, according to Pia. If I could only buy or carry one designer bag forever, what would it be? I would say it would probably be a Birkin. I don't have this bag, but it would probably be a Birkin 25 Togo black with gold hardware. That would probably be my bag. Or the Mini Kelly that I have. Can you share any things you see differently after your single year now that you are dating? When my friends ask me if I would recommend doing a single year, I say yes and no. I think no, because when you're dating, you learn so much more about yourself with triggers and how you respond and react to different things. I would say only do a single year if you feel like you cannot be single. That's why I feel like I needed to do a single year. I don't think you need to do a year either, because people who aren't single, like aka me, you're not even single for a month, let alone a year. I feel like 6 months would have sufficed, you know? I think from doing a single year, I learnt to compromise my values less and be less flexible in who I am as a person. Like, I would kind of change previously, like who I was as a person. Like if I had a really sporty boyfriend, I'd be like, cool, I'm sporty me, sporty spice. And if I had a really lazy boyfriend, I'd be like, yeah, I'm a potato, I'm a sloth, you know? And it would just kind of happen naturally and gradually that I would just kind of like change my values based on them. I mean, being sporty or lazy isn't really a value, but you know what I mean. Favorite restaurant in London? My favorite restaurant in London is La Petite Maison. It's the best. Best atmosphere, best food, best staff, best people, best service, best everything. Best desserts, best mains, best starters. Why were you wearing a BG monitor in your TikTok? I had a monitor, you might be able to see the mark of it. I have a glucose monitor to help balance my liver, which I told you I'm having issues with. I'm looking at my glucose levels, and whilst I was doing this cleanse, I wanted to see what affected my body differently. For example, I was telling Peter the other day, mango is a really sugary fruit, but it doesn't affect my glucose levels. So interesting, stuff like that. I had the amazing cinnamon gluten-free swell thing that I had from Libby's, and I thought this is probably quite sugary, it's going to spike my glucose. Didn't spike my glucose at all. However, some gluten-free sourdough bread did spike my glucose. So you just learn really interesting things about your body, and the aim is to learn how your body reacts to different things so that you're able to level out your glucose levels and your body can function better, particularly for me, my liver. My grandfather was also diabetic, so I have to be really careful. Okay, I think I have rambled enough. I hope I've answered like loads and loads of your questions, and I should definitely do more Q&As more often because these are so much fun. So thank you guys for joining along with me. You can shop my new Raimi collection down below, by the way, and I will see you next Sunday, because every Sunday 9:30 a.m. I will be here on YouTube. I'm sending you a big kiss. Mwah. Bye guys.